How should Cowboys handle QBs before playoffs start? We posed the following to the USA Today Sports NFL staff: You're the Dallas Cowboys. The number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs is clinched. How do you handle the quarterback situation the final 2 weeks of the regular season? Here are their responses. Jarek Bell: It's almost time to get Tony Romo some reps, and stay sensible. It's Dak Prescott's job. I'd try to get Romo some second-half snaps at Philadelphia in Week 17, just to knock some rust off and minimize the risk with Prescott. The injuries to quarterbacks Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota that put such a damper on the weekend underscored the obvious risk factor for teams headed to the playoffs. If anyone needed a reminder, you never want to play scared, or coach scared, but you also want to be smart. Why were the Raiders throwing in third down while up by 19 points in the fourth quarter? That's when Carr got hurt. So there's something to be said about play selections and game situations. Be smart. Then there's the matter of Romo's history. He's left injured in 3 of the last 5 games he's played. The Cowboys might have the best quarterback depth in the playoffs, with great insurance in Romo. Yet for as much as they need to preserve Prescott, they need to keep their insurance intact, too. Lindsey H. Jones: Jason Garrett might have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster, but he has 2 realistic options on who to play in the final 2 games of the season: rookie starter Dak Prescott, or veteran backup Mark Sanchez. Sure, fans would probably love to see Tony Romo, who was wally-pipped by Prescott this season, but if the Cowboys want to have any realistic chance unloading Romo, and his hefty contract, this offseason, they cannot risk Romo suffering another injury. So let Prescott play. Garrett should not let the devastating, but freak, injuries suffered by Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota impact his decision to keep Prescott in the game and allow him and this young Cowboys offense to continue to develop. Pull him late in a blowout, sure, but let him start. As a rookie, he needs as much game experience as he can get. NFL Week 16 overreactions: Are Seahawks in trouble? Michael Middlehurst Schwartz: This doesn't have to be complicated for Dallas. The Cowboys can adhere to Monday night's game plan after insisting starters would stay in. But inserting Tony Romo into the lineup in Week 17 could help get the veteran back into rhythm, as well as prevent Dak Prescott from being subjected to a possible injury. If Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett send a clear message that this is a 1-week plan, Romo's performance won't serve as a disruption. The Cowboys don't need a reminder about how a quarterback injury can change a season, but injuries to Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota reinforce how quickly a season can fall apart. Tom Pelissero: One way or another, the Cowboys should get Tony Romo on the field. He's had nearly as many surgeries, 3, as starts, 4, in the past 2 seasons. The Cowboys know what he looks like in practice, but that's a lot of game time missed. You don't want to be the 2010 Chicago Bears, who found out during the NFC Championship their number 2 QB, Todd Collins, had nothing left and benched him after 2 series. Sure, you can argue an injury would erase whatever trade value Romo has. But what signal would send to interested teams if you're so scared of Romo's health that you won't even risk giving him a few dozen snaps to knock off the rust? Lorenzo Reyes: I'm playing both Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. Yes, I do want to help Prescott avoid the rookie wall, especially since he has been in the middle of a non-stop football marathon since the fall of 2015. But I also want to keep him sharp, both mentally and physically. Once the Cowboys come out of their first-round bye, they will be facing the best teams in the NFL. Time to shake off rust won't be available. So my plan would be to install the game plan with Prescott to start, and then remove him from Monday night's game against the Lions at the end of the 3rd quarter, regardless of the score. Same drill for Week 17's showdown against the Eagles. Except in that one, I'd take Prescott out at halftime. This way Prescott gets a breather. and Romo gets valuable in-game reps to get him back in shape in case he's needed in January. The best of both worlds. How to watch the Cowboys-Lions NFL Monday Night Football game livestream online. This season's Monday Night Football schedule draws to a close tonight, with the NFC East champion Dallas Cowboys hosting the NFC North leading Detroit Lions. The Cowboys locked up the division crown and the number 1 seed with the Giants' loss to Philadelphia on Thursday. The question now is, how will the Cowboys treat their final 2 games of the regular season? Will they play their starters and risk major injuries like the ones that befell Tennessee quarterback Marcus Mariota and Oakland Signal caller Derek Carr this weekend? Or will the Cowboys rest their regulars and risk losing the momentum from their outstanding season? And will backup quarterback Tony Romo see any action over the next 2 weeks? If Romo gets in either of the last 2 games, speculation will only increase that he'll take over for rookie Dak Prescott at the first sign of trouble during the playoffs. As for Detroit, the Lions can't wrap up the NFC North tonight. They face Green Bay on Sunday in a winner-take-all showdown no matter what happens on Monday against Dallas. But the Lions can lock up at least a wild card berth with a win over the Cowboys. A victory could also keep them in the race for the all-important number 2 seed in the NFC. Such is the Lions' fate right now that with just 2 games left, they could earn a first-round bye, or be out of the playoffs altogether. Kickoff is set for 8:30 p.m. ET. Sean McDonough and John Gruden have the call. You can catch the action live on ESPN, or stream it online free with a cable subscription via Watch ESPN on your PC, phone, or tablet. The NFL mobile app offers another way to watch on your phone or tablet. Both apps can be downloaded from the Apple App Store, Google Play, and the Windows Store. Packers get extra days of rest ahead of Lions showdown. Green Bay, Wisconsin. AP. The Green Bay Packers are guaranteed to have at least one advantage over the Lions when the NFC North rivals play for the division title to close the regular season. 2 extra days of rest in late December might do wonders for a team making a playoff push. Green Bay, 9-6, beat Minnesota on Saturday for its 5th straight victory. By the time the Lions wrap up the NFL's Week 16 schedule with a tough road game against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night, the Packers will have enjoyed a game-free Sunday with their families to celebrate the holidays, and a lighter Monday. That means a little more recuperation time for key players dealing with injuries, such as receiver Randall Cobb, and linebackers Clay Matthews and Nick Berry. The Packers visit the Lions on Sunday night in the final game of the regular season. The Packers had their bye in Week 4. 3 weeks later, a few extra days off following a Thursday night win over the Bears provided Green Bay its last real significant break. Playing 10 straight games coming out of the Thursday night game against Chicago, that's a grind. It's the first time we've had to do that, Coach Mike McCarthy said Monday. That makes a difference. So we've made it through, had the extra day, that will benefit us. Green Bay has powered through numerous injuries to put itself back in position to win the division. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers, whose calf injury is improving, hasn't thrown an interception in 6 games. Cobb missed the Vikings game with a nagging ankle injury. Matthews' left shoulder injury is getting better, and he returned to being an impact player with a strip sack against the Vikings, 3 quarterback hurries and 2 deflected passes. Perry returned from a 2-game absence to sack Sam Bradford twice in spite of a heavy wrap protecting his injured left hand. The defense might be able to use the extra time to figure out how to shore up pass coverage. Advertisement. After a porous 4th quarter against the Bears in Week 15, the Packers followed up by allowing 382 yards passing to Bradford, and a career-high 202 yards and 2 scores on 12 catches by Adam Thielen. The lopsided score played a factor. Green Bay led by 2 touchdowns at halftime, and 38-13 with 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter when Minnesota went with a hurry-up offense. You'd like to say, we need to finish better, But it's good that we're putting ourselves into positions to even go up like that, safety Micah Hyde said after the game. Injuries also hit the cornerback position again, with Ladarius Gunter leaving the game in the second quarter with an elbow injury. He was replaced by Damarius Randall, a starter when healthy who was already questionable to play with a shoulder injury. Once again, we sustained an injury, we had to move people in, McCarthy said. Damarius Randall, I give the young man a ton of credit, I didn't really think he was going to play in the game. The defense has made up for any deficiencies with a recent penchant for takeaways. The Packers are +12 in turnover differential, with no giveaways, over the past 3 games, in part due to getting more pressure on the quarterback. The better health of Matthews and Perry, in turn, has helped to generate more pass rush against Minnesota. The Packers get a regular day off on Tuesday before resuming their normal practice schedule on Wednesday. I'm going to try to give these players as much time as possible to get their bodies back, especially with what we've endured here the last 9 weeks, McCarthy said.